Hello everyone, this is Eric, your consultant for business and IT. Many people need to segment their data center network for security reasons. And they ask themselves, what is the fastest way to do that? The fastest way I know is using Cisco Secure Workload. In this video, I'm going to explain you why it's the fastest method and why many people are looking into that right now. And stay until the end if you want to have more information about cloud workload security. Nowadays, many people are interested in implementing a zero trust architecture because it's part of the Network Information Security Directive of the European Union. That means there are many regulation and compliance requirements that's seeking for a zero trust architecture. So how does it work? A zero trust architecture is based on three pillars. First is the access control. You need to ensure who accesses your network. The second, if you grant access to your network, you don't want to grant access to everything, but only to a specific segment, right? Depending on the user's role. For example, if someone works for a human research department, they need a different access than if someone works for finance, right? And lastly, once you granted access, you want to still have observability. You want to monitor what the people are doing with the granted access right, to be sure. All these three things can be implemented in various ways. Today, we concentrate on the segmentation. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. The classical way to implement segmentation is using VLANs. You can implement that at router, switches, and at firewalls. And typically you segment these VLANs per department, like responsibilities. Just imagine the human resource department has a specific VLAN, the financial department has a specific VLAN, and the marketing and sales has a specific VLAN. So that means depending on the responsibility and the roles, you have certain areas where your network is separated. On the other hand, you might want to have an even finer segmentation, because you could think like, if I have a smaller segmentation and something goes wrong and I have a security incident, I can isolate this segmentation, right, to fix the problem. And if I can isolate this problem in a smaller piece, right, I also limit my risk for the whole organization. That's the idea of microsegmentation. So the next thing you could ask, like, okay, how do I microsegment? And then the smart idea is, okay, why do I not use the firewalls that are already implemented on the operating system? Just think about a Windows server or Linux server. And you remember when you have your personal Windows machine, there's also a firewall implemented on the per software on the operating system. So you can adjust these operating system firewalls to have an even smaller segmentation per machine. This works well if you have 1, 2, or 3 machines, right? That maybe your personal computers, you are fine. But imagine a data center that is on-prem or in the cloud or all together, and you do not have 10, 100, but you have over 1,000 virtual machines, right? And then think about you maintaining all these operating system firewalls, and then you think like, oh my God, that's a lot of work, and it takes a lot of time to implement. You see, this is exactly the problem that Secure Workload addresses. So let's have a look how it works. So the setup of Secure Workload is actually very simple. You have one central Secure Workload SaaS platform, which is a software as a service solution. And then next to that, you have software agents that are deployed on each workload. A workload is here a Windows machine or a Linux machine. These agents, once they are installed, they can monitor the network traffic on the virtual machine, on the machines, and the agents control the local operating system firewalls, like a remote controller. Subscribe to my channel because you will learn more about business and IT. Since the agents know the network traffic on the operating system level and the machines, Secure Workload can generate a draft security policy based on the actual traffic that's on the machines. Next to that, if you think the draft security policy is okay, you can enforce this policy using local firewall rules, right? And the good thing about that is that you manage all these 1,000 machines from a single platform. It's a remote controller for your security policies. And next to that, you have additional security, because if you make a mistake in the creation of the security policy, or a firewall rule blocks all of a sudden an important traffic, the whole platform can roll back to a previous setup, so that you have the security that if something goes wrong, you can just simply roll it back. The crucial part is that secure workload works like a remote controller for thousands of machines. You can basically microsegment your environment in weeks, all right? What previously took you ages, months, years, and a lot of rollout planning, you can do in a fraction of time. And if there's a lot of pressure regarding compliance regulation, this is the fastest way I know how you can segment your network. If you want to learn more about data center security on-prem and in the cloud, watch the following clip about Gartner's report about cloud workload security.